I am going to share with you how I do my windows for the holidays. It's really easy. Anybody can go out there and do this. You do need a few supplies, and I did provide a small list for this particular window, but I have a longer list of supplies in my description section. In my Halloween playlist, if you go to episode 7, you can watch that tutorial also if you'd like. I go a little more into explaining, and the description of the list of supplies are on that section, and you can probably copy and paste if you're on the computer or if you have a notebook on your cell phone. But it's really easy to go out and do windows for the holidays, and it's good money. If you're just starting, you may have to start your prices off a little low and then just kind of build up as you go along. But I would target like restaurants, cafes, nice medium to large windows, and try to make regular customers of them, and see if you can establish a clientele. And before you know it, you're developing your list of regular customers, and then you can call them every year and go out and do their windows. It's really easy. My recommendation would be that you practice your artwork at home. Okay, it is a little different, from doing windows out in location. You're kind of dealing with people that are out, walking by you, passing by you, talking to you, and you kind of have to develop a mentality to where you're not alone. Most of us as artists, we're home alone and we're painting and we're very focused. We either have music on, or it's a different feel. Okay, but it's really fun because you get to go out and be around people, because it can get pretty lonely staying home and just painting your art. But anyhow, it would be more of developing your art skills at home, because the application of your art on the window is easy. Okay, so I would actually recommend that you practice your art at home. Okay, and so let's get started. I'm going to show you how I did these windows. Okay, and these are the windows that we're going to do today. And keep it simple. You can even use this same design. If you don't have the second window or a big window, just, do the silhouette and see how it feels. But here's a list of the supplies that you can use for this project. And then I've got a picture here of the white to the left, and the one to the right is the red one. And I ended up putting, add 4 ounces of white, because this is kind of like the paint that they use for construction, the painters out there. And so it's recommended to put some white so it can give it that white pigment. And then here's the rollers, and I put 3 on here, so you can start off at least with 3 if you're going to use that same design that I have. And that was Shoreline, and this is another brand, and so you decide which one you're going to get, but try to get a thin nap, which is, I think, a 1/4-inch nap. And if you can, well, just try those and see how you feel. But there I am setting up my table, and I wanted to put this in here so that you can see what it's like, to set up your little table. But get you a 2x4, and then get you some storage bins so that you can be able to put your stuff in there. And then there I am applying my red. I had already done my white. I'm going to put the little clipping of another video that I did of the white when I'm applying it, and it kind of like, so that you can end off in your head with that visual of that's how you're going to start your first step. Okay, you can draw with a watered down paint brush and figure where you're going to put your design. But on this right here, what I ended up doing was I drew out, I did my white base, and then I drew out my silhouette with a chalk, and then I ended up painting my first red layer all around the silhouette, and then I let that dry, and then I applied the second coat, which is this one right here, and then I just covered it up, and you can actually see where the silhouette is at. And this is how you can see through the second layer. Okay, and so here I'm using the 1/2" brush, and I decided to use a 1/2" brush so that it can be easier when I make the little thin lines on the hair strands, and even make small little sections like the arms and the legs. But it's up to you. You can use whichever brush you like to use. And I have listed on here the 1/2" and the 3/4 inch. You fill it up quicker with your 3/4 inch, but you can also outline with your 1/2" and then just fill it up with your 3/4 inch. Okay, I'm gonna put it on time lapse, and I'm gonna put some music on for you. But don't leave, because we still have how I laid down the white base, okay? Okay, and here's where I'm laying down the white base. And that's how easy it is. It's the same thing, just in white. This is from another video clipping. Just wanted to show you.